Imagine discovering that one of the deadliest diseases on Earth began as a single ordinary cell inside the human body. One tiny change, invisible at first, silent, no pain, no warning, no symptoms, just one cell, slowly transforming into something dangerous. Right now, inside your body, trillions of cells are working together to keep you alive. Your heart beats over 100,000 times every day. Your lungs breathe automatically. Your brain sends billions of electrical signals every second. And behind all of it, are cells. Tiny living units constantly communicating, repairing damage, and following instructions written deep inside your DNA. Most of the time, this system works perfectly. But sometimes, something goes wrong. A mistake appears inside the genetic code. A single cell stops obeying the rules. And when that happens, cancer can begin. This is the hidden story of how cancer actually starts inside the human body. The human body is often compared to a machine, but in reality, it is more like a massive living city. Inside this city are trillions of microscopic citizens called cells. Each cell has a specific job. Some carry oxygen through the blood. Some fight infections. Some build muscle. Others repair damaged tissue. And every second, millions of old cells die, while millions of new cells are created to replace them. To keep this enormous system functioning, every cell must follow strict biological instructions. These instructions are stored inside DNA. DNA is like an instruction manual for life. It tells cells when to grow, when to divide, and most importantly, when to stop. Without these instructions, the body would fall into chaos. Imagine a city where traffic lights suddenly stopped working. Cars would crash. Roads would become blocked. Emergency systems would fail. That is similar to what happens when cells lose control. Under normal conditions, healthy cells grow carefully and only when needed. If a cell becomes old or damaged, the body activates a process called programmed cell death. The cell destroys itself before it can cause harm. This system protects the body every single day. In fact, scientists believe that potentially dangerous cells appear inside the human body more often than most people realize. But usually, the body eliminates them immediately. The problem begins when one damaged cell survives. Every day, your DNA is under attack. Radiation from the sun, chemicals in cigarette smoke, air pollution, alcohol, processed foods, chronic inflammation, even normal aging itself. All of these can damage the genetic instructions inside cells. Sometimes the damage is minor. The body repairs it quickly, but not always. Occasionally, the damage affects genes responsible for controlling cell growth. These genes act like biological brakes. Their job is to stop cells from dividing uncontrollably. But if those brakes fail, the consequences can be devastating. Scientists call these dangerous genetic changes mutations. Most mutations are harmless. Some even disappear naturally. But certain mutations allow cells to ignore the body's safety systems. And this is where cancer truly begins. Not as an infection, not as an outside invader, but as your own cells, changing from within. At first, the transformation is microscopic, impossible to feel, impossible to see. One abnormal cell divides into 2, then 4, then 8, then thousands. Over time, the damaged cells continue multiplying. But unlike healthy cells, they never stop. Healthy cells live by rules. Cancer cells do not. As mutations accumulate, the abnormal cells become increasingly aggressive. They stop responding to signals from nearby tissue. They ignore commands from the immune system. And eventually, they begin acting independently, almost like rebels inside the body. Scientists have discovered that cancer cells behave differently in several dangerous ways. First, they divide uncontrollably. Second, they avoid destruction. And third, they consume enormous amounts of energy. Cancer cells are constantly hungry. To support their growth, they steal nutrients from surrounding tissue. They also release chemical signals that trick the body into building new blood vessels around the tumor. This gives the cancer a fresh supply of oxygen and nutrients, allowing it to grow even faster. But what makes cancer especially dangerous is time, because early cancer usually causes no symptoms at all. A tumor can silently grow for years before a person notices anything unusual. Inside the body, the battle has already begun, long before diagnosis, 12 to 4 p.m. Fortunately, the human body is not defenseless. Hidden inside your bloodstream is one of the most advanced defense systems on Earth, the immune system. Every second, immune cells patrol the body searching for threats, viruses, bacteria, damaged tissue, and abnormal cells. Some immune cells are specifically designed to identify and destroy cells that appear dangerous. In many cases, they succeed. Scientists believe the immune system destroys potential cancer cells regularly without us ever knowing. But cancer is dangerous because some abnormal cells evolve ways to survive. Certain cancer cells develop the ability to hide from immune defenses. Others release chemicals that weaken immune responses nearby. And some mutate so rapidly, the immune system struggles to recognize them at all. Over time, the balance begins to shift. The cancer grows stronger, while the body struggles to keep up. This silent war can continue for months, or even years. As cancer cells multiply, they begin forming a mass known as a tumor. But not all tumors are deadly. Some remain localized and grow slowly. These are called benign tumors. They may become large, but they usually do not spread to distant parts of the body. Malignant tumors are different. These are true cancers. Malignant cells invade nearby tissue aggressively. They destroy healthy structures around them, and as they grow, they place enormous stress on the body. Inside the tumor, conditions become chaotic. Cancer cells compete for oxygen and nutrients. Some cells die, others mutate further, making the tumor even more dangerous over time. Scientists often compare cancer evolution to natural selection. The strongest cancer cells survive, the weakest dissipate. And with every new mutation, the disease becomes harder to stop. Eventually, the tumor may become large enough to interfere with organ function. A tumor inside the lungs may reduce breathing. A tumor inside the brain may affect movement or memory. A tumor inside the colon may block digestion. The location of cancer can completely change how the disease affects the body. But the most dangerous stage is still ahead. One of the deadliest abilities cancer can develop is the ability to spread. This process is called metastasis. Some cancer cells break away from the original tumor. They enter the bloodstream or lymphatic system and travel throughout the body. Most of these traveling cells die, but a few survive. And when they settle in a new organ, they may begin growing again. A single tumor can eventually spread to the liver, lungs, bones, or brain. At this stage, cancer becomes far more difficult to treat, because now, the disease is no longer isolated. It has become systemic. And this is why early detection is so important. Finding cancer before it spreads can dramatically improve survival rates. But detecting cancer early is difficult precisely because it often develops silently. Inside the body, the disease may already be advancing long before symptoms appear. Despite how dangerous cancer can be, there is hope. Modern medicine has made enormous progress in understanding how cancer works. Scientists now know far more about DNA, mutations, and tumor growth than ever before in human history. New treatments are helping the immune system recognize cancer more effectively. Targeted therapies can attack specific mutations inside tumors. And early screening methods are saving lives every single day. But prevention remains one of the most powerful weapons against cancer. Avoiding smoking, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, protecting skin from excessive sunlight, limiting alcohol, eating nutritious foods. These habits cannot guarantee protection, but they can significantly reduce risk. Because cancer does not begin overnight. It begins slowly, through years of accumulated damage inside cells. And understanding how cancer starts may help humanity fight it more effectively in the future. Inside every human body, a silent battle is happening every second. A battle between healthy cells and cells that threaten life itself. And sometimes, the difference between health and disease begins with a single microscopic change hidden deep inside the DNA of one ordinary cell. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Inside the Human Body for more cinematic videos exploring cancer, disease, human biology, and the hidden science of life itself.